Girls and guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So, we are back with the GTC Lusso. Why is it back in? Let me show you. You ready? Ah, that's not good. So, we have a charging fault and we have already diagnosed it down to be an alternator failure because it's already had a new battery. So, yeah, alternator. Moving on to that screen, it's saying the voltage is around 13.3, but even when you start picking up the RPMs a little bit, there's no change. So yeah, she is not healthy. Yeah, so it's got a new battery. We tested the battery standing voltage was 12.4, start it up, it drops down. It's always on trickle charge. It can only be the alternator now. So we're going to strip to it and then do a little bit more checking, but we are pretty sure the rectifier and the alternator has failed. So, working on a V12 on a Friday. Happy days. Could be worse. We're also going to be replacing the auxiliary belt as well while we're there, because when you're in the area, change everything that you need to. So let's go on a little journey. Such a pretty engine. Such a pretty engine. Anyway, right, first things first. Disconnect the battery. Really simple to get to, 110mm, 2 Phillips, remove the plastic cover. Now, because we're going to be in this region, the alternator is there. So I'm not sure how I'm going to tackle that yet. I know this has got to come off. Similar to doing the spark plugs, I'm going to take all of this off just to give myself some room, because as we know with these cars, just take it off if you think it's going to be in your way. So we're going to strip all of this side first. But I'm going to wait for this thing to cool down a little bit because it is mighty warm. I might actually take that side off. I can see a lot of the front end being stripped. I'm not actually sure how to do this, but you know, we live and learn. It can't be that difficult. It's an alternator, it's at the front. But there's a will, there's a way. Is it going to come off from underneath? Let's get a torch, hold on. Oh, I can't see it coming off from underneath because there's a drive shaft directly underneath it. So she's coming off from the front. I don't know. Hopefully it's not an engine out job. I mean, looking at it, this bar here, the support bar at the front might need to come off, but that's not a big problem. Just to get the angle on the dangle. A few Allen keys, I believe. I'll mark everything up before we do it. I don't know, I'm just guessing at the moment. So I'm gonna let it cool down for a minute, have my morning coffee and get ready for the task that lies ahead with this beautiful V12. Okay, a little bit of a fast forward. So air boxes are off, plastic covers are all off up there. Whole induction systems are out, air filters are out. That's all down here. Now, I need to get the Hoover out because somehow it's inhaled a cigarette butt, but there's a lot of salt, dust and crap everywhere that we're going to just hoover up and clear off. Now, what I've done in the meantime is ECU for the passenger side ECU, I'll call it, the one that goes here. That is just up there. One side is disconnected. There was 110mm on a little bracket. We've taken out from there. Now on this side, same thing, but only the ECU's down here, 10mm bracket out there, obvious. Now, where I want to be is I want to take this out, because then I've got perfect access. However, I'm looking at the radiator thinking, are you going to get it? I mean, I thought that was just one big rad, but the engine rad is from there to there. Now, I just don't know where I'm going to go. I'm really, really stuck on the way to do this. If you've done this and you're looking at this video going, idiot, do this, I'll get there, I hope, or I'll do it a different way and we'll find out. So that's where I am now. First things first, I'm gonna get the Hoover out and just clear up all of this. I don't want to blow it out of the airline, I'd rather just Hoover it all up. I have no idea how this job's gonna go, but I'm gonna enjoy it. Ish. Nah, it's all fun. It's nuts and bolts, who cares? Let's just do it. Let's go and get the Hoover. Well, Mr. Dyson has given it a good go. Got rid of a lot of it. There's a lot in there as well, which was weird. I've cleaned a lot of it up. To be honest, some of that stuff is so stubborn that you actually need to get a brush and brush it off, which means it's not going to come off easily in this process, so that's brilliant. One thing that I just remembered is there's a control unit up there. That control unit goes around here. That's chucked up there as well. Now, I think I'm gonna go down the road of give myself as much room as I can. So I'm gonna just undo all of these clips holding all the pipes onto all of this. I might take the power steering bottle flip forward. This is definitely not the same as an Alpha 156 or Alpha 166, or probably 145s and other stuff. Definitely not the same as that. So yeah, I'm gonna undo all of these clips, give myself some access room. The good thing is we are starting to see signs of it down there. I just really need to work out which way I'm doing this. I mean, that could come off. Some of these screws don't look ideal. I don't know. Real devil's advocate moment in my life. I could be working on something worse as well. But anyway, let's get all that off. So in the process of doing all of this, eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed this was just chilling. And then when I looked removing these earlier, you can see there's remnants of screen wash. I don't know where that pipe goes, but I'm only guessing that goes to the headlight washers, which are inoperative at the moment because the pipe's in my bloody hand, disconnected. Now, I spotted that earlier and I just thought it was a typical thing of something's just not, nothing goes to it, but I didn't see that this pipe was underneath it because that was just sitting over the top. Visually messed my eyes up. So even from here, you can see it now pointed out, but that pipe just didn't exist to me a minute ago. I don't know why. I'm gonna ring the customer now and find out if his headlight washers work. Okay, we're trying to get, the whole point of this is room. Now, I know I'm doing this in loads of different parts, and it's annoying. So first thing I've done, this black and blue connector goes to here, disconnected that, followed this wire, goes to that clip there, and disconnect that. That gives me all of this wiring. Once I've undone that Allen key there, this wiring is just going to be out of the way. Gives me loads more room. Don't need to worry about that side too much at the moment. I'm just focusing on what can I see and what can I get to at this area here for now. I'm going to undo that because that's annoying me. Okay, I'm coming to a conclusion now. Right. After looking at it as much as I possibly can until I'm potentially slightly a little bit bored, I've decided that this panel has to come out. The reason why, I can't guarantee that if I get the alternator undone, which I can do from this position here, and get the belt off and everything like that, I can't guarantee I can get it out of that hole there. I do have the other alternator in that box over there that I could test it, but I risk damaging the rocker cover. I risk damaging a coolant pipe, and if I'm honest, the risk is not worth the reward. So I'm going to take the support bar out here, that thing. Why is it not focusing? Sorry. I'm going to take this out. I mean, I'm not too far there anyway. Worst case, I have to undo the coolant pipe and lose a little bit of coolant. So be it. I'll take that right now because there's just no, there's all the room and no room. It's brilliant. I can see it. I just can't properly get it. And I don't want to risk, it's not I don't want to risk, I'm not risking a single guesstimation on this thing. So do it right, do it properly. I'm going down this road, so if you have to do it, you can just jump straight to it without any worry. And you get to see how to do it as well. So let's get the power steering pump reservoir out of the way. Everything's pretty much disattached from this thing anyway, so yeah, let's go. I've pre-lubed up all these bolts as well, all these 13s. So let's get it gone. Do you know what? I'm quite enjoying this. It's espresso time, by the way. So I thought the power steering bracket support was power steering fluid support was going to be my issue, but the Italians have come up with some genius stuff, and I'm really impressed. If you see that bracket there, it looks welded, but it's bolted. So that means I can take that off, and that will make my life easier. A lot easier, because I was thinking that's going to be my problem to get it out. Which means with that coming out, I don't potentially need to take drain the coolant. So that means I should be able to slide this bar in and out with a little bit of hand trickery and special movements. And it saves us a big old job with the coolant, which gives me all the access. So I am feeling a little bit more pleased while I finish my espresso. Very nice. Okay, quick update. Less and less stuff is attached, which is good. So that bracket's gone, 210 mils. Here it is, and the screws are in there. I'm running out of storage facilities here. Removed these vac lines that go to the rails. Recirculating system, don't care at this point. So they're off as well. So just for me to get the wiring up and out and get everything kind of out of the way, I've got to pin a lot of this up because it's going to be in the way. So everything's removed from the rads. Now, what I'm hoping is I'm going to mark up these, there's 6 3 and 3 Schmad Allen keys. I was going to say Schmad Allen keys. I'm going to just mark it all up so as it comes off is exactly as it goes back in. and then I'm gonna get this big bar out of the way, and we're gonna change an alternator, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay, so I was wrong. There's actually 4 bolts on this side. I've got a little mark so I know where to line it up. I've also put a little mark down here so I know I'm gonna get the orientation correct onto that side. I'm gonna put 1 bolt back in just to support it so it's not all just dangling and drops and goes all lopsided and stuff. I believe these bolts actually go in at a bit of a funny angle, but I'm gonna do that one. There we go. So yeah, then that is not in nicely at all. Oh, it moved already. Yeah, it's already moved. Amazing. Let's just get that pulled back. All right, they're all off. I've got movement on it and I've got more access, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some glamorous assistants to come and give me a hand to lift the rads forward. One person keeps it out of the way, and then we're gonna hopefully wiggle this out at an angle. Maybe come out this way, I don't know yet. Haven't planned on an exit route, so to speak, but it is coming out. I just don't want to have to bleed the whole coolant system, that's all. So I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, I've done it so you don't have to, because then I have to whip that pipe off and get everything a little bit wet. That was a little bit more difficult than one actually envisioned. Thank God I had a helping hand. So to get the structural bar out there, or support bar, we had to take off these little rubbers. Now I just put some grips and turned them off. They're all off. One of the shims come off on that side, which isn't a major. This pipe did come off in the end, and I thought I was going to lose coolant, but there was no coolant in there, which is concerning. Not concerning, it might just be the electric water pumps aren't on. I don't know, I'll work it out later. But now, finally, we have full access to the alternator, the tensioner. We're gonna draw the diagram with the V-belt, and then we're gonna get it off. Happy days for once. So, 15 on the tensioner to move it. We've actually got a genuine Ferrari. There is the part number if you need it for this. It's the 291236, genuine Ferrari. Now, I'm actually going to fit the belt because the tensioner locks it against the idler and gives us perfect operational room to replace said alternator. So I'm going to, well, majority of it's on there, which is the main thing. So yeah, might as well stick a new belt on while we're here. Right, it's pretty much out now. So there's 2 Allen keys holding it in, 1 top, 1 bottom. 1 plug you can see there. It's got a little red clip to hold it in. And behind it, that green stuff, that green cover, is the power cable cover that goes into the back, which goes into that 13mm stud there. For that 13mm nut there, there's the Allen keys. 1 long bolt, 1 short bolt. Long bolt at the bottom, which is back in its place. 1 short bolt goes at the top. And then the alternator is ready to come out. However, people, there is a plot twist incoming. So I can fully confirm the alternator does come out that way. Now, I said there's going to be a plot twist. Are we all ready for it? One we removed, the one that we brought. Completely wrong. Wrong engine, wrong car. I believe this is from a California, or Cali T, Roma, something like that, I'm not sure. We actually brought this from Eurospares. They've since spoken to us. They're brilliant, by the way. I can't fault Eurospares in the slightest because they dealt with the situation. They told us they got one in stock. And believe it or not, the customer is on his merry way. He wasn't far off, actually. Weirdly, he was just nearby Essex. The part number for this one is a 327289, and it is a Denso unit. Anyway, so he's close by to Essex, so he's actually stopping in. He was only half an hour away from there when we spoke to him. Which means Cinderella will be ready for the ball. We will have it back together today. Just waiting on an alternator to be delivered. It is exactly 9 minutes past 2. I don't know why I needed to look. So we're expecting him here around about 3-ish. We luckily picked up on this about 45 minutes to an hour ago. So situation's ready in hand, we'll say. So, cue to the next bit when we've got the right alternator. And it's 5 o'clock and we've got an alternator. Well, the weekend has been and gone. And it's a Monday and we are back. So the alternator's back in there. It literally just goes in, little turn, and then it goes. Quick little update. That is back in, they're all tight. All of these are back on and tight. That side, you can see, lined up. We're good. Jubilee's back on that pipe, putting the power steering pipe bracket back in, but not putting that on. Then I'm going to route all the cables in and all the pipe work and then just remember where all that goes. Thank God I've got videos because I cannot fully remember. Oh, battery is also on condition charge, but that is now full. So, we're getting there. We are making good progress, one would say. Right, big fast forward on this. So, all the wiring is back where it should. All the pipes are clipped in where it should be. All the fixings and fasteners are all where they should be, except for that. That is not in the right position. That needs to slide further down here, but I'll do that once. There you go. It should be in that little gap there and there. So they're there. That's perfect. Induction system, side panels, connect the battery, fire it up, symphony of sound. She's looking normal. So obviously standard practice, re-grease all the bolts on the airbox because they are problematic. And then we're going to grease every single bolt that goes into all the plastics. At this point, just in case we've not connected anything or anything like that, we're going to take the battery off charge, connect it up, get it started. Symphony of noises incoming. All right, battery's all connected. Just going to do the wake up procedure. Oh, look at it. Lock, unlock. Just wake it up nice and gently. Oh God, it's a nice place to be in here. Lights are on. Bit of ignition. Right. Battery voltage went down, it's coming back up. The conclusive end to the GTC Lusso. The car's not here with us anymore, it is gone. Now, not the best ending of a video, because what we actually found is I've shown you how to do the alternator replacement and an auxiliary belt replacement if you need to, that's fine. The actual problem we had with the car actually returned. Not ideal. We put a new alternator, we even put a new battery on it as well again, and we put a new auxiliary belt on it. Not that that would cause the problem, but we just did because it's good practice to do it. So we've done everything, and unfortunately, the fault returned. It just flatlined at 13 volts. Wouldn't charge, wouldn't do, well, it was charging, just not enough. It needs to be at 14.5 on that. So, yeah, not the best ending to this video. We're not sure what's caused it. We had long talks with Martin at Parks Performance up north. Brilliant guy. I do recommend him for, the man is a font of knowledge. But however, both our heads put together, we couldn't work out what was causing this problem. So it's actually been booked in to another Ferrari specialist, quite local, Ferrari Performance, I'm not sure, but they were quite confident they can get to the bottom of the situation, which is going to be good for the owner. Gutting for me, because obviously I did the work, hoping that we'll fix it. Unfortunately, we didn't. You win some, you lose some. It annoys me that I couldn't rectify it because that's what we're here for, isn't it? We're mechanics, we fix things. All the signs pointed to it, but it is what it is. So in this video, you've seen how to replace an alternator on a GTC Lusso. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video where hopefully we actually get to rectifying problems. So thanks for watching. Not done, but done.